Hello, my name is Zach Rye with Old Man Gaming. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another thrilling episode of Astral Drive. I am not alone, however. I have three wonderful players that keep this game as interesting as it has been for 20 plus episodes. Directly above my head, you are seeing Aether Dios playing Jerrold Abrego.
Good evening.
Right next to him, our resident Buildmaster General, Philbilly330, playing Nullis Stonehand.
What's going on, guys?
And then, last but certainly not least, our partner in all things TTRPG, Wizard's Respite Ash, playing Alfred Whitecastle.
Howdy, folks.
So, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, we are going to get right back into the action. We start this episode with Abrego. Abrego, Alfred Whitecastle has just drank your blood, walked through the secret passageway. The door shuts behind him after he promises to return for you, but you still remain in the clutches of whatever the hell Tobias Pelton has turned out to be. It's at this point, though, that we still hear the crashing, the banging on the outside. It's getting louder, it's getting noisier as they find a way through the door into the negotiation chamber, the holy negotiation chamber, when Tobias Pelton, still with the eyes of Zalinx, looks at you and goes, "I am sure you have questions. I must recede from this world, but if you want to ask a quick one or two, I may be inclined to answer." He also releases you. You drop down to the ground. Free will.
I think in the last one, that was the last thing he did. I asked why.
Oh.
And I got mostly dramatic laughter and had a small speech, but not really.
I think you're right. I think I'm literally
Huge
confusing.
info.
I think I'm literally confusing this with ID for some reason. I think you're 100% right, because a similar thing happened in that as well, and for some reason I am like conflating them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you hit me with that like twice in a row. I was like, oh man, I gotta get ready for this kind of one last question before you die kind of thing.
Stealth plug out there, people. Check out ID, a Doctor Who podcast starring Aether Dios. It's already finished
Also,
season 1.
Watch all of it before you watch our special at the end.
Yes, please do.
Anyway, yeah. So everybody's burst through.
Yeah.
And he's
okay.
He returned. He was like, "I'm sorry." It was like,
okay, all right.
Sorry,
I listened to the shows back to back when we did them, and I just sorry about that. I think I listened to both shows on the same day, and that's why I kind of conflated them into one. I'm running too many games out there, everybody. Please give me a little patience and leeway. All right. So, yeah, a bunch of them run in. He says sorry, and then you see one of the it was chaplains, right?
Yeah.
One of the chaplains is leading kind of the more, hired mercenary people of the Church of Matthias. They run in. One of them looks at Elijah and just goes, "What happened to Elijah?" And he turns to Tobias. Tobias goes, "I am sorry. It was the third member. He turned out to be some sort of creature, some sort of beast. Some unholy demon." And you see just the guy look at him. He looks back at him and then looks back at you. And it's like, "What about him?" He's like, before you can talk, Tobias steps in and goes, "Jerrold Abrego is one of our most devout and holiest members here in the church. He is agreed to stay on as my future apprentice. He is above reproach." And you see the chaplain kind of look at you for a second, and then he bows, kind of like, this is the way of things. And then he looks back and he goes, "What did the demon do?" Tobias goes, "I have heard of demons like this. In my dealings with the archipelago, I believe that a quick conversation with the Inquisition is necessary, as soon as humanly possible." He goes, All right. All right. All right, Your Holiness. Tobias goes, thank you. Myself and Abrego will be taking our leave. We need some rest after this trying time. And then he looks back at Abrego, then looks back at the chaplains and goes, I need a few of your men to take Abrego to his room. And then a couple of mercenaries. They don't necessarily look unfriendly to you, kind of like walk over. Like he points at two of them. They kind of walk over to you. Tobias goes, I will walk with you, my son.
Please, I need to. Thank you. It's very trying. I need to get my companion as well.
Your companion. Funny enough, damn it, I wrote his name down and I don't remember what name.
Yeah, it's okay.
Etad. Etad starts to like come to, kind of shake himself, almost like once the magic that was keeping him unconscious went away, he was quick to kind of come back to reality. He kind of looks up and just as an animal just looks confused. Like he looks around like he doesn't, his hair is still raised, and then he sees all these new people, and then he kind of looks at you for guidance. Give me animal charisma real quick. We're going to say difficulty is, let's say 10.
And that is 13.
Okay. So you pass it, but no extra momentum gain. You kind of, how do you calm him down?
It's okay, Todd. It's past for now. We're okay.
You see his fur kind of go down. He kind of whines at you a little bit, then kind of comes over to your leg, kind of plops over with you. One of the mercenaries kind of looks at him and goes, "The big dog with you?"
Yes.
Oh, good. I was just about ready to shoot it and make dinner. Tobias is like, that will be enough. That dog is to be treated with the same reverence as his owner, Apprentice Abrego. They all kind of like look at each other and they go, sorry. And then the one looks at you and he goes, I'm sorry. I didn't mean nothing by it.
We'll take our leave.
Alright, the four of you plus your companion start to walk through the mansion. This is just a huge compound. His mansion is absolutely huge, extremely gaudy. You know what I'm talking about, Corpus all the way. Just like inlay and all sorts of like molding on top of molding. It's ridiculous in here. You walk up kind of like this large marble spiral staircase to a second level as you walk, and Tobias kind of hangs back with you. And he goes, I did not want you to see that part of things.
I think I'm going to need a little bit of time.
I need you. We're going to do a contested roll. He begins to spin his webs on you, and he just kind of goes, look, I know that you saw it inside me, what it is, and I know that it's hard to understand right now what's going on, and especially since you and I trusted each other so implicitly in the past. I want you to understand that trust, I understand that I have violated that trust with you, but I still trust you with my life. He then kind of like reaches out his hand and just lightly touches your shoulder and goes, I still look at you as a son I never had. And I hope that our relationship is salvageable. With time, you'll understand that what I am doing is the best for not just Genesis, but the universe, and that you can be part of that. And he is going to go ahead and roll some manipulation bullshit on you.
That motherfucker.
Why do you think he wanted you out of the picture? You out of the picture. Let's get Mr. Bad Rolls in here so I can make him a bad guy. Alright, so 5 is 9. Okay, so you're rolling perception awareness contested against him. He has just rolled a 25 total.
Alright, I'm spending my momentum for advantage.
Good call.
I have...
And it's not advantage, it's rolling an extra d20. I don't want to get sued. I wouldn't put it past him to try. I wouldn't put it past him to try. Wizards of the Coast are some dumb shits. I would not put it past us to
Listen, after what Disney just pulled this last week, we're not going to take any chances.
Yeah.
So, what'd you get?
That is going to be 16.
16. Okay, he beats you. By a fair amount.
I can tie him at max roll.
I will say this. Your loss does not necessarily, because this is... You watched him turn into a demon and pin you to the wall and then make your friend drink your blood. So, it's not going to be like an overnight, like, he just makes a roll and you're like, yes, master. It's not like that. You definitely feel easier. Like, there is a part of you that's like, I have spent a ton of time with this man. I've trusted this man. Like, you kind of feel like maybe he is doing this for the best. Maybe he did keep this for a reason. I'm extremely bothered by everything that's happened here, but maybe there's an explanation for it. I don't want you to role play it like you're just immediately like turned.
Oh no!
But
I'm keeping track of. Let's see.
How many failed manipulations?
Yeah, no, I'm keeping track of it, and I'm playing with it. It's just not good leaving the traumatized city boy with PTSD and scars with the master manipulator demon touched president of the planet.
This is true. No character though survives a Zach game without PTSD.
That's fair.
You guys get to your room. He opens it, and it is way nicer than the place. And the place you had before was nice, but this is like an apartment inside a house. Like, that's how nice this is. And it's a nice apartment. Like, you've got your own bathroom, your own shower, your own bedroom, your own kitchen. Like, it is beautiful in here. He walks in with you. The dog kind of plods with you as well. The dog is always... Ita is always on the side of you that is opposite Tobias. And never not watching him. Like, he remembers at least something about him was weird and off, and he's going to watch that with all of his considerable whatever. You get into the room, and then once you guys are in the room, Tobias kind of walks in just inside kind of the foyer of your mini apartment, and he just looks at you and he goes, "My son, get some rest. You need it. This has been a harrowing day for you. Get some rest, take some time, and we will talk. We will begin our studies together, all anew, once we have reestablished trust. I am going to have these two stay outside your room to make sure nothing else happens to you." And then he looks at you and he goes, "And one other thing I do want to point out. I know that you had a huge amount of loyalty to your crewmates, to the people you served with on that ship, and I respect you for that. But I know you did not know that Alfred Whitecastle was one of the most despised and duplicitous creatures to ever roam the Hearth system. He kept that from you. Think about what else he has kept from you. Just something to ponder, my son. And then he kind of turns and he walks out. And then he looks at the two mercenaries, tells them to wait outside the door, and then the door shuts behind him. And we switch off to Nullis. Nullis. Okay. So, he's just said siphon to you. Oh no. A siphon. I think that's what he says to you.
A siphon, you say? What the hell's that?
He shakes his head. This is the first time ever that you've seen him, like, wholeheartedly panicked. And he stands up and he's like, no, we don't have time for the full explanation. Listen to me, you have to get off this planet. You have to get off this planet as fast as you possibly can, in whatever way you can, for the sake of you and your family.
What's after you?
It's not what's after me. It's what it can do. It's something I didn't even think. It's only been theorized by our kind. It's like, it's hard to explain, but I need to go over the most important points, because as long as I am here, as long as you are in contact with me, you are in danger. Do you remember? I know that this has all happened inside your mind, but it is basically the same as happening out there. Do you remember how you did your magic without me? I remember you casted spells against me in my fervor.
Yeah, and it hurt quite a bit.
You're going to have to do that, at least until you're off this planet. I'm going to have to hide myself deep inside your mind.
You got me here in my dream palace, and I'm gonna need some sort of explanations from you. You went from being my adversary wanting to take me over to bearing yourself away. What exactly is going on?
It's like, I don't have time. Every second that we are talking, he can find you and he can see you. You can see that. You can see that he's stressed. Like, he knows that you want answers and he wants to give them, but you can also tell that there is this obvious panic that he feels like as long as you guys are talking, you're somehow in danger. You said, who's he though? He goes, I don't know. I just know what that was. Get off this planet and I can explain things to you. And at that point, he just grabs your throat, he picks you up, and he hurls you through the glass of the front window. And you wake up. You wake up to kind of like this, like, chanting, like this melodious, like, chanting over you. And you're just in kind of like absolute darkness. But as you kind of feel around, you feel like the bed, your bed, and you look around, you kind of recognize your room. And as you kind of, your head starts to move, the chanting stops. And you can see excuse me, that's not his name. I apologize to everybody out there. I try to keep those off mic, but there's no way people didn't hear that one. You see San Takano kind of sitting over you, hands on his hips, and then he just kind of looks at you, concerned. When you wake up, you see Pickles kind of like hop up, and he goes, "Ah!" And then like his large dinosaur tongue just like slurps the side of your face, bringing you fully into consciousness.
I sit up real fast, and I'm like, damn it.
You are troubled.
I look at my hand to see if I can see any cut marks.
You 100% have cut marks in the same places you cut yourself
My
in the
chest
dream.
and my hand.
Yep.
Okay.
I will say this, they are not as severe as they were in the dream, but they are definitely there. Because you are troubled by something more, something not of this world. I have rarely seen wounds appear on an unconscious person's flesh.
Well, Santacano, I believe your rarely trumps my never.
It's like, I have lived a long time. I love playing him. He just chews up space, man. One of these days, if I run out of material, I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna have Santacano just do a monologue. It'll be one paragraph, and it'll take 40 minutes.
Yeah, I believe something inside of me has lived a long time as well, and the answers I've gotten have not been what I'd hoped for.
He raises a finger and points at you, and you have you're surprised. It like there's darkness, but the moon, like he's got the wind shade. The wind shades? What the fuck is that? He's got the
Window shades.
yeah, but they wouldn't be window shades, it's in a farm. Curtains. Jesus. What is happening in my brain right now? Curtains. He's got the curtains to your bedroom window open, and the moon, it's a clear night, so the moon is kind of lighting the room even in the pitch blackness. So you can see his face, and he has a weird level of like I don't know, like certainty. And he kind of points at you and goes, "You have another inside you."
Yeah, something like that. You ever, in your long life, come across that before?
He nods. Only with the pilgrims. Never with the naturals from Genesis. The ones that appeared, they have them. Some of them. You can see it behind their eyes, a second set.
What do you know about the second set of eyes behind theirs?
He shakes his head a little bit less certain at this, and he goes, "The magic is what your people, the pilgrims, call it. Our shamans, our magics, they are not like your magics. They do not draw from the same places that yours do. However, I have seen it with your people more than once. Usually it is not good."
Yeah, unfortunately, that's about all I know as well. It's not good.
He kind of, you can see he's kind of like searching for a way to say something to you, and then he kind of like settles on a certain amount of language, and then finally he kind of looks up and he goes, "Picture a lake of water. Picture that is all the people who are not yet alive. drop something in that water that is also liquid but not water. It spreads into all of the water. However, I have always wondered if it was more scary because as it spreads, if it still remains one thing, then it would touch all life.
Gotta be honest, Santacano, you're speaking in tongues.
He nods. He goes, I am sorry. Hard to verbalize. I will think on it and try again later. Your mate and, I believe, parentage are downstairs, worried, drinking coffee. You passed out randomly, and then wounds started to appear on you. They sought me out. I was not far.
Well, I appreciate any aid that you gave them, and I guess I have some talking to do, especially Job did mention that after the whole situation with your pursuers that he may have some information for me, so I best head down and talk to them.
He nods and he goes, it is nothing. Your seeds, that would be gross. Your seedlings are my seedlings. Your branches are my branches now. I owe you that. I'm actually going to make you do perception linguistics if you have it. I'm going to say it's a low difficulty 5. Because I think everybody here kind of gets the gist of what he's trying to say, but he's also a real old green.
I roll a 9, 2 perception, 10.
Okay.
Does that give me a thingy?
It does. It gives you a momentum. Well done. You saved his life. He has now kind of like he looks at you guys all as his seedlings, basically. So his family, like part of him.
Santacano, before I head down and talk to them, it may be one of the last times I talk to them for a period of time. I understand you're very skilled at hiding, as it is. How skilled are you at hiding in plain sight? And the reason I ask, the way things are going, and the message that I've just received, is it possible you come with me on my journey to find my companions? Because I don't know that I have the time to come back once I leave.
He looks at you and goes, of course. Life stretches its branches any way it chooses. We're just leaves. I will make it work.
Alright, bro, I'll take that as a yes.
Be prepared for a whole lot of weird shit. It turns into a buddy cop film between Nullis and Green.
Well, that's good to know. You feel free to head down whenever you're ready, but give me a minute to talk, please.
He nods to you, and then stands and kind of, in his weird kind of graceful glide out, where he's walking slow but somehow fast at the same time. And as you head down, we're going to switch over to Alfred. Alfred, so door shuts behind you. You're in a kind of like a large cavernous thing. It is not a cave. It is carved out of this because they're in the desert. So there's not a whole ton of like caves that close to the surface. So they have actually, he has basically, there's like a ladder down from where you're standing. Going down that, you go down about a floor, and then you end up in this small cave that you have to kind of hunch over. Well, small tunnel is a better description. I don't know words tonight, everybody, so please bear with me. Don't know curtains. They're apparently wind shades, and so just bear with me. So it is a tunnel, a smaller tunnel that you kind of have to duck under. It's not a sewer or anything. It's specifically made as a getaway tunnel, but it's a tunnel nonetheless. So you begin to follow it. All right, you keep following it. What do you do? Like, do you do anything or just follow it out?
I probably going to be trying to get pretty sneaky, especially as I get down at a ways. I'm probably going to want to roll a stealth and maybe an awareness to see if I can't see anything that's of any like purpose. But I got to get out of this place.
Okay,
like now.
You move through it as stealthily as possible. You don't need to roll because there is nothing down here. Like, this is specifically made as a getaway tunnel. There's no, like, turrets or monsters or anything. This is specifically made to allow somebody to run away from the negotiation room. That being said, you keep expecting people to follow you. You don't want to trust the demon that sent you out, but they never do. You never get anything. You just kind of walk down this tunnel, and you walk down this tunnel for a real long time. Give me a navigation perception check. And we're going to say difficulty on this one is going to be 10.
Would it be like navigation awareness?
Awareness is a skill. Perception. Yeah.
Right. It is 10 on the dot.
That is a failure, but you do not lose anything and I don't gain anything. So, you can't judge the distance that you've gone, but you've gone quite a ways. Like, you're in here for a while. You kind of lose track of time a little bit. Not to the point where you just feel lost or anything, like you didn't fail that badly. Like, you failed right on the dot. So you kind of get the idea that, like, oh, this is a really long tunnel. Like, this is a ridiculously long tunnel. Like, this took a really long time to make. And is almost too long. Like, it doesn't need to be this long, but it's long. Finally, you get to a ladder on the other side that you can kind of climb up. You see up at the top, the ladder kind of goes up about a floor, just like back here, and then kind of disappears over a ledge.
Okay. Can I do perception awareness to try and check to see if I can hear anything or catch like a glimpse of shadow against the wall, any movement or anything like that?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Alright, I got a 12.
Okay. There's nothing down here. It is okay. Dead silent. It's almost like creepily silent. Like the kind of silence that's unnatural. I see you getting worried. There's nothing down here. Can't state this enough. Right now, there's nothing down here.
Alright, I'm just going to proceed forward then.
Okay.
I'm still I'm kind of still hurrying.
Yeah, of course. Alright, you climb up the ladder, and then you get up the ladder, you kind of end up on this like kind of 4-foot ledge, And in front of you is just this large kind of steel door that has a crank, kind of like what you'd see from like a subway. Not a subway, good God, a submarine. But I don't know what's wrong with me. It's like
when you said somewhere, I thought sandwich shop actually.
Oh my God, my brain.
You guys are
just,
both.
dude, it is just all over the way. So somewhere there is a highway in my brain that has just collapsed, and it's just cars are just going off the edge. So if this stream ends in my aneurysm, just call someone. It's a kind of a wheel, and like, but it's got the two kind of metal parts coming off that like jab into either side. You know what I mean? So if you twist it, it pulls the metal out. One from the top, one from the bottom.
And that's pretty much it. I'm just in a room and that door.
That door, that's it. It's not even really a room. You're like on a 4-foot ledge. The door is just high enough to kind of get out. You're not really bending over, but like you could like reach up and touch the ceiling real easily.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna go through I haven't run into anything yet, and I need to get the F out of here, so I'm just gonna go through the door.
Okay, so you go over to the wheel, you go to crank it. It is covered in rust and dust and all sorts of nastiness. So we're going to need a strength check. Plus, this would be condition. No, it would be build. Strength build. No, force build.
I got what you're saying. Alright.
It gets worse too, because once you've done like 2 wrong, then everything just starts coming wrong and feeling wrong. Like it's so compounded because you're noticing it.
You start doubting yourself too much.
You like overcorrect words.
I got a 9.
Okay, alright. You crank on this thing, and it like starts to pop, and finally kind of like pulls free, and just. But when you pull it free, it makes like just the loudest squealing noise, like that. Like it is loud here, and most certainly loud on the outside.
Okay.
But the door is unlatched, and you can now push it open.
I push it open, and I ready myself for a fight.
It just starts making the loudest squeaking, terrible noise. Like, this is the least stealthy anybody has ever been in this game.
This reminds me of a Brago for some reason.
Brago's the stealthiest one of the 3 of you.
Dragging his suitcase across the...
Oh, yeah.
I love when we've been playing a game long enough that we can get nostalgic about the game we're playing.
Yeah.
That's the true sign that you're playing in a group that's gonna last. All right, so you pop the door open. What is your awareness, real quick?
Just straight awareness is a 3.
Okay, so that'd be 5 plus 7. Okay. So you pop the door open. The door swings outwardly, not inwardly. And you find yourself in what seems to be kind of like an abandoned building. You're not exactly sure where. But it's just... And it's well made. It's not shittily made. It's just got a lot of cobwebs. The windows are boarded over. There's no furniture in here. There's some pillars, and you look like you can only see through the door because you haven't walked through it yet. But you look through and you almost see like some pillars for like the first floor seems to be like double sized, almost like this was a bar or tavern of some sort or a gathering place of some sort. But there's no tables, there's no chairs. It's just empty, a lot of dust, a lot of cobwebs, that sort of thing.
Okay, do I see any doors in there or anything like that? Windows to the outside?
From your point of view, you only see windows to the outside with kind of like boards over them, so like light just kind of poking through.
Okay. I'm gonna move into the room and start looking for an exit.
As soon as you take 2 steps into the room and your body is fully in the room, you hear the click behind your head. And it is unmistakably the click of a hammer being pulled back on some sort of pistol.
I wouldn't move if I were you. That'd be a mistake. Even with one soul, young and virile as you.
That's what you hear from behind you.
Seems like you've got the drop on me. What are you doing back there?
Seems like I do. I'm gonna need your name, boy.
I was sent down here by the... oh shoot, what was his name?
He's the high priest. He's like the... He's like
of
Money Pope. I can't remember. He's Tobias Pelton. High Father. High Father. Yeah, High Father Tobias Pelton. I
was sit down here by High Father Tobias Felton of the Church of Matthias.
Well, those are a lot of names, but not yours. So, let's try this one more time. And keep in mind, we're playing with a 3-strike rule. What's your goddamn name, boy?
Alfred. I say through gritted teeth.
He stops. And then you hear like a little communication device. Like, tick, 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 tick.
Don't move, elf.
And then he puts the thing up to his ear.
Yeah, I got him. God-looking motherfucker. Says his name's Alfred. Won't give me a last name. I could make his head into a canoe. Okay, if you're sure.
And you see her click, put it down. He goes,
Alright, Al. I'm gonna thumb the hammer back nice and gently. And then you and I are gonna have a conversation. Sound good?
I am amenable to that.
he goes,
Well, I'm not quite sure what amenable means, but I'm gonna say this. Just because I'm thumbing the hammer back don't mean I ain't fast. And just because I talk like this don't mean I ain't fast either. So I think twice about making a move, especially since I'm a friendly. At least for now. We cool?
Cool.
you hear the hammer click back into place. You turn around.
I do.
You see a man, a human man. He's got a cowboy hat on, black cowboy hat on his head, wispy gray hair kind of streaked down from the sides of it. He looks like if you took a prune and you put it in the sun and you let it turn into a raisin, then you put that in the sun. That's what this guy looks like. Like he is leather strapped to bones. He's got like a kind of a black coat on, some black jeans on that are kind of scuffed up and ripped. He's got a belt, but it's a gun belt with like revolver shells in it. And you see he thumbs the hammer back and he just has this massive, just insane looking revolver in his hand. Like if anybody's seen Furiosa, Dementis' revolver. That's all I'm going to say. Look that up. But you also see that his left hand is missing from the elbow down. He has no prosthetic, no nothing. Just like, it's like a stub. He takes the gun down. He kind of puts his hand and his stub up, and then he slides the gun into a holster that he has for a cross draw. So from his bad hand side out. So kind of like a Doc Holliday rig. And he slides it in.
I'm Croak! What's your name? Your real name. Full name.
Alfred Whitecastle.
That's a real name? I don't buy it.
It is the name I go by here.
Fancy motherfucker, aren't you? Alright, Al! Well, I'll tell you this. I was sent here by High Father Pelton himself. I got the ship. I got it loaded up. We're supposed to get the other ship, right? And we're on the clock, if I recall correctly.
We're on a clock.
You got a crew? Or is it just you and me?
Interesting you should ask. I am in the process of acquiring my crew. I must gather them before we leave.
Well, let me tell you this, Fancy Pants. If you're on my ship, it's my crew. Until you get off of my ship. We understood?
Your crew? As in people you've chosen, or the people that I have put my trust in to come with me on this very dangerous mission?
Oh, I see. There's a breakdown in communication here. I get it. Let me take it back and rewind. You bring anybody you want, but it's my ship, my rules.
I can respect that, Captain.
Respect this. A crazy-ass motherfucking place. Your boss wants us to go. I'm just about the only guy who'll take you there. And I'm the only guy because look at me.
Something tells me that you've encountered these creatures before. You know what we're getting into?
Oh, I wouldn't say I'd encountered them. It's just, I'm like 107 and don't really give a shit anymore. I just like money. So, let's go do this fucking thing.
I can work with this. This I can work with.
Alright, Al. Looks like we're going to be best friends. Now, your crew. You said you got one. You can get them here? Somebody? I know some people.
Yes, I have a few people that in mind that I can get to assist us. Where shall we meet? Is this the rendezvous? Where's your...
It's an empty building, Al.
Hangar?
What are you doing to me right now? Of course I got a hangar. You think I got a ship in the back of an empty building?
I just walked through a very long tunnel after a very strange day. I don't know anything about this weird planet. If you say you have a hangar, sir, please tell me where it might be so I can meet you there.
He looks at you completely unimpressed, and he goes,
"Ow, you're on Genesis, man. Every day's a weird-ass day here."
I'm beginning to realize such as that.
These kids these days.
He turns and he starts to like walk out of the building. And then you see he's got kind of like a hunch, like an old man hunch, like he's got some sclerosis too. And he just starts to kind of like walk off. And then he looks back and he says, "You coming?"
Yes, I'm coming.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that was another episode of Astral Drive. Things are heating up. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Of course, though, as this is the internet and we are but humble content creators, we need to be allowed to try to plug things to you. So, of course, Jerrold Brego played by Aether Dios. What would you like to plug, sir?
On this channel, there's ID, a Doctor Who adventure that you should all go and watch, and also keep watching more of this. Like and subscribe.
See, this is what I do. You didn't have things to plug when we started this, and now I forced things to plug up on you. This is what I do. Bill Master General, Nullis Stoneham. What would you like to plug, sir?
Check out TMNT and Other Strangeness. I believe we're doing a live one on the 5th.
Yes.
So coming up shortly, a couple weeks. And other than that, I don't have a whole lot going on myself as far as content. So yeah, make sure you watch what's your guys' podcast? Wizards Emporium or some
Sanctorum.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Make sure you watch your pretentious bullshit. I will say this: I do have some stuff planned to force more content upon Aether Dios and February 15th. So keep your eyes out that one. We'll get closer to it. Alfred Whitecastle, played by Wizards Respite. Ask me if you'd like to plug, sir.
As always, wizardsrespite.com is a website where all of these episodes can be seen. Also, articles diving deep into TTRPG as an industry, as a hobby. We also have t-shirts on there, as well as, of course, Ordo Scriptorum, another setting and expansion to the single mod game, built off of the game that we're playing here, diving deep into the more of a gothic horror genre, which is a lot of fun, and yeah, definitely check that out as well.
Yes, you can also check out, if I may just roll right into my plugs, you may also check out the Ordo Scriptorium first playthrough, where we play tested the original game with 3 other people, Corey, a tiny wizard, and a small mage. So check those out. It's a 6-episode series. I think the 6th one is probably finishing up this week. The week that the week that the first one of these is going up. So please, it'll be up. Check it out, either on Spotify or YouTube. We also have a lot of TTRPG content all over the place. All the wonderful things that Wizard said, please check those out as well. And we also do video games on this channel as well too. How many times can I say as well? You guys can also reach us on Facebook at OldManGamingDH, on X at OldManGaming9. You can join our Discord links in the description below in case this is So as you guys keep watching and listening, we will keep making it. Go to wizardsrespite.com for all the fun TTRPG stuff. We will see you guys next time.